My last segment, it's just curious, right? Because we're talking about, weight, you're a strength coach, so it obviously makes sense. Ryan and Devin, this being reported that if they fight each other and everything goes all smooth, that they're allegedly supposed to fight in May, separate opponents on a card, kind of like a showcase or whatever, tune up or whatever they want to call it.
In the
What
US?
in the US.
Wait. So Ryan got cleared to fight now?
Well, granted, he has to go through like the proper procedures, right? I think he has to prove through the New York Athletic Commission he's clean and yada yada and all that stuff, right? But at that point, he's already served his sentence at that point. So if Ryan and Devin stack a card together, not against each other, and they face
Hey,
opponents,
hey,
and
man.
then and afterwards they're supposed to fight, I believe in October in Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
and then apparently February for like a trilogy. But the weight that they are being reported that they agreed on is at 147. So
Okay.
so obviously no 140. Obviously there was the three
So
pound
they're
difference.
making sure that the weight is not a factor. That's
Correct.
what you're telling
But correct.
me? All right.
That's if everyone still comes on weight, right? Like, Ryan trains and makes
Mhm.
weight. But so they make 147. How much does that change the fight? Does it because of and I guess I have one more aspect right before you say, I know that Devin accepted Ryan coming in 3 pounds heavier. So Devin forced himself to make the weight that, to keep his title. Ryan couldn't make the weight at 140. That's what he said. So it's 3 pound difference. Is that 3 pounds difference the reason why, what I mean, like that's significant? Or is it gonna hurt Devin facing even a bigger Ryan at 147? Or is Devin gonna be healthy? He didn't have to shrink down to 140. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like all these
Yeah,
different
I get what
so
you're saying.
help me out. How does this
I
work
think
out?
I think it's not going to matter on the weight if Devin doesn't work on what he needs to work on. The 3 pound difference wasn't a factor for that fight. The factor was is that he couldn't avoid certain shots. He didn't make those adjustments that he needed to make in that ring. You know what I mean? Like he could like how many let's really count how many times he got hit with the same hook. No adjustments were made. No hands was up. No rolling. No step back. No make no clinches. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like it was more of Devin's fundamental flaws that caused him to lose. Devin is still a great fighter. Devin is still, a well respected fighter. Ryan's still gonna come like Ryan. Ryan still got that hook. He relies on that hook. He relies on that hook. So you already know the hook's coming. You just don't know when it's coming. But if you really look at Ryan, the way he throws his shots, like he he throws it, it's the speed that gets him over because you don't really see Ryan like moving, thinking, pop, 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 boom. You don't see that. You see Ryan like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this, but I'm so goddamn fast, I could throw it. And he will land it. And he could punch. So a heavier Ryan makes it dangerous for the power difference. But if Ryan, even though he's still fast, he could lose somewhat speed. For Dev, it all comes down to what he gains and what he improves in his fundamentals for boxing. Sometimes you might have to take a step back and during the offseason say, listen, we're gonna go back to fundamentals and we're just gonna work on the basic step and boom, boom, hand up, boom, 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 hand up, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Run defense drills, do something. Like go in there and spar guys that have beautiful hooks. Man, listen, there's a plenty of guys in Puerto Rico who got beautiful hooks. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can prepare for that. But it's just I guess whatever his team puts together for him. You know what I'm saying? Bill has done a great job with Dev so far. I mean, the man has made a lot of money. He's promoted Dev in great ways. He's like that. Let's not all for let's not forget that Dev has never competed in the amateurs as an elite fighter. He turned pro at a young age. He never competed elite. You understand what I'm saying? He turned pro in Mexico, had what, 12, fighters out in Mexico and then came to the US. So he never competed at that high, really, really high level in the amateurs. I'm not saying that's wrong because sometimes when it's time to turn, it's time to turn. But I think that for Bill and Dev, I think this is around the time that if this fight does happen, I would professionally recommend for Bill to bring in someone that has a good boxing eye to help Dev get to that extra step to avoid specific shots.
Yeah, I saw they brought Nate, who was with Floyd,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, the big dude.
hmm
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
So
cool,
so
cool, cool, cool.
so and there's clips of him kind of working blocking the left hand, but even then, like how much more dangerous is because technically Ryan was 3 pounds over 140, so an extra four, right?
Yeah.
How much more dangerous is like a 147
But that's
Ryan
what I'm
versus?
saying. So,
Is it that
but hold
much?
on though. Let's put a pause. Like just because Ryan was already strong at 147, I mean at the 140 mark, came in one, let's say 142, 143, right? That doesn't mean that Dev is also going to be stronger. I've been in Vegas and I've seen Dev at an off season weight. He's a big he's pretty big.
Yeah.
Now going down to 47, can he get stronger? Yes. With the right game plan, the right guidance, and the right strategic, structured camp to get him ready for Ryan, I think that he'll have a absolute great advantage. But we still got to work on the flaws. You know what I mean? It don't matter who comes in the condition Ryan the Dev for this fight. He could sit here and get Tim Grover, right? He could get Alex Ariza to come in. It don't matter who. He could get Larry Wade to come in and help him to gain that muscle mass and whatever it is he needs to do to get that strength. He could bring me in. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? To get him exactly physically strong for those type of situations. But if the fundamental flaws are still there, it don't matter how big you are. You know what I mean? The flaws are flaw. And it's not like they haven't fought before in the amateurs. They fought again in the pros and we've seen the outcome. You know what I mean? We just had like they would just have to prepare numerous guys and go in there and spar, bro. Like this is for this type of caliber, like this is one of those type of camps that you gotta bring in. You gotta really, you know, put up whatever it is you gotta do to bring in the best quality work from all over. You want to bring in fast guys, hard punches, good hooks, straight good right hands, good movement, good defense. You want to prepare for everything that's going to happen. And you want to mix that shit up. So what I would do is like you would do like if they spar 3 days a week, right? So then you would do this day, all right, we got this guy doing four, this guy doing four, this guy doing four. They go to 12, but we're gonna throw the fast guy in the mix, or we're gonna take the heavy puncher, we're gonna throw him in at the end, or whatever it is you gotta do. You gotta mix that shit up where it's really well rounded. You can't just throw one guy in there, beat the crap out of him, and be like, okay, you're going home. And then, all right, bring in the next guy. And then you beat the shit out of him. All right, you're going home. If you keep doing that, what are you really learning? And here's the thing, and this is more like a psychological fact for anybody who's listening. Every person on earth only learns from a bad experience. We never learn from a good one. We cherish the good ones. We want to repeat the good. So if we gain money, we want to double the money. So we want to do what we got to do to double the money. If we get good news, we honor the good news. We celebrate the good news. But when we do something that's a bad experience, we're like, I ain't doing that shit again. You know what I mean? I ain't going down that road again. Yo, I ain't drinking that shit again. You know what I mean? Why do you think when people drink the next day they hit you with the same thing? I ain't never drinking again. You see what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of how he structures his camp. Because I know Ryan could be a lot of things, bro, and he say a lot of crazy shit. So in reality, I don't know if he's playing Kaiser Soze or this is Ryan for real. You understand what I'm saying? So one way or another, I don't know. All I know is both teams are going to get ready for something, and you just got to be ready all the way around.
Well, look.